Well, you know, this mask thing is pretty necessary right now, but it's really better for superheroes and also, you know, in the Wild West at the bandit thing. But right now, you know, we're going to be socially distanced enough tonight that I can take this off for just a little while. Certainly, this is not how we planned it, but you play the hand you're dealt, and in this case, it's been played to record effect because you have stepped up as never before. So we say hello again. Welcome to the 4th Annual Heroes Ball to benefit the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy. My name is Brian Davis, and I am delighted to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for a virtually presented but absolutely real celebration of this amazing organization and the people who helped to make its work possible. Now, this is, in the state of Oklahoma, the first ever event of its kind, a virtual fundraising gala. Same basic elements, even dinner for many of you, thanks to an ingenious arrangement with Postmates. We have the raffle for which you'll want to stay to the very end, and also our live auction. We'll do the bidding for that using the chat function on Zoom. Now, if you're not familiar with that, take a moment to get to know and explore Zoom chat during the next few minutes because it'll be important. It's actually pretty simple. You click on the chat box at the bottom of your screen, a sidebar opens up, kind of like Google Messenger, and you're in business. If you need backup, though, you'll find all of the necessary details in tonight's event guide. Our silent auction has actually been open for bidding since Tuesday. For that, we're using BidPal. Log on to my.bidpal.net/heroesball2020. That's my.bidpal.net/heroesball2020. If you've not yet created an account, you'll be prompted to do so. They'll take you through those steps, and bidding for the silent auction will remain open until 7:15. Again, you may consult the event guide for details on that. There's some great stuff up for bid tonight, including fine wines and spirits, weekend getaways, spa packages, artwork, and a whole lot more. None of this, of course, would be possible without the generous support that OICA has received from organizations that make a real difference improving the quality of life in our state. The Bridgewater Fund is at the top of that list, along with the Journal Record, the Oklahoma Blood Institute, Bank First, the George Kaiser Family Foundation, and Glenn Coffey and Associates. Before we begin the formal program, we have a couple of other housekeeping notes. We are once again doing our People's Choice Awards by audience participation. You may view this year's strong slate of candidates and also vote at oica.org/heroes-ball-vote-2020. Let me try that again. oica.org/heroes-ball-2020. You got to put the dashes in, or God knows where you'll wind up. And by the way, we are going to have an internet protocol address quiz sometime later in the program. Finally, you may buy your raffle tickets online also at oica.org. We'll sell those until 6:30. But now it's time to start the speechifying. Let's turn it over to the president of the OICA board, Mitch Rosen.
Thank you so much for joining us remotely for the 4th Annual Heroes Ball. We live in strange times, and we still have not figured out what the new normal is. Like many organizations, we had to cancel a number of fundraising events earlier in the year due to the coronavirus. We debated long and hard about whether or not to cancel tonight's event. However, we decided that we should not, that we should continue on virtually for 2 reasons. One, a number of our fellow Oklahomans have advocated tirelessly on behalf of children's issues, and we felt it was important to recognize them for the good that they have done for Oklahoma's children. And 2, this Heroes Ball has historically been our biggest fundraiser, and we felt it was important to remind you not only about what OICA does, but also to ask for your financial commitment to make sure that we can fulfill our mission. Things are different, but unfortunately, things are not different. Children are still being abused. They still don't have housing. They're not provided with sufficient food, clothing, or medical care. We need to be the voice for the children of Oklahoma. For too long, Oklahoma's children have been an afterthought by Oklahoma's legislators. And with the economic result of the coronavirus and the downturn in the oil and gas industry, it's more important than ever to be ready next spring to make sure that programs that benefit Oklahoma's children are not cut next year. This is an election year. Each of you should take the opportunity to let your candidates know that you care about children's issues and to make sure that they care about children's issues as well. And remember that children are not Republicans, they're not Democrats, they're not conservatives, and they're not liberals. They're just kids. They deserve a chance, they deserve hope. Thank you for supporting our children by joining us today. Every one of you is being an advocate by attending our ball this evening. But don't stop today. Be an advocate. Become a member of OICA. Thank you.
They're just kids. They deserve a chance. They deserve hope. And that's so true. What's also true is that so often the truly important work is not flashy. It can be tedious. In the face of opposition that sometimes just does not make any sense, it can challenge your patience and your resolve. But if we don't do this, who will? In promoting the Heroes Ball on social media recently, I compared OICA to the little engine that could. The man who fuels that engine on a day-to-day basis is the executive director, the chief executive officer, Joe Dorman.
Good evening and welcome to the OICA Heroes Ball, our fourth edition, which this year happens to be a virtual event. We want to thank everyone who is attending here tonight. As you heard from Mitch, we appreciate so many of you for being so active with our organization. For those of you that do not know about OICA, the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy was formed in 1983 as a result of the Terry D. lawsuit. This lawsuit was brought forth by teenage plaintiffs who were in the custody of the Department of Human Services. They worked with the Legal Aid of Western Oklahoma to bring a lawsuit against the Department of Human Services to see better conditions for these kids. Going forward, nearly 40 years later, OICA is still here thriving, being the voice for Oklahoma's children, working at our state capitol and now in our nation's capital to ensure that we have the best opportunities for the children across our state and across the nation. We appreciate you for being a part of this tonight. We have some wonderful people who will be receiving awards, true child advocates and champions for children who have worked tirelessly to make sure that opportunities are there for them to thrive, even during this time of COVID-19. We want to thank our sponsors, Postmates, for providing the meal delivery. We hope those of you that had the meal delivery enjoyed that, and thank you to those local restaurants who were a part of that. Please continue to support our local businesses. We also want to thank the Bridgewater Fund for being our presenting sponsor. They have done that each and every year that we've been here, and we cannot thank them enough for being a part of the Heroes Ball. We also want to thank those other sponsors, and we will mention them throughout the evening. But first and foremost, we want to thank those honorees that we're recognizing here tonight. Please don't forget to vote for the People's Choice Awards. We still have that going for a few more minutes. And certainly, please go check out our silent auction items and get ready to bid on our live auction items. We have some tremendous items, and your donation goes to OICA to help us continue our advocacy. Again, thank you for being a part of the OICA Heroes Ball, and let's get the show going.
That jacket is just a tad aggressive, don't you think? I might need these a little bit later on when Joe comes back to join us later in the program. Our program, by the way, comes to you tonight from the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. And I'll say here that we hope that you will continue to support our local nonprofit organizations, which have been so sorely tested by this outbreak of COVID-19. Support for the 4th Annual Heroes Ball comes in part from Youth Villages, from AT&T, First United Bank, and from the Potts Family Foundation. We say thanks so much to all. Don't forget to bid again the silent auction, which is open until 7:15. You can place your bids at mybidpal.net/heroesball2020 and get ready for our first live auction item, which is a freezer containing a quarter of beef. As with every situation that tests us, we have certainly experienced moments of grace in the course of this public health crisis. One of those moments, several of actually, came from right inside these walls. When they closed this place, the museum's security director, Tim Tiller, stepped up in a way that put the Cowboy Hall onto the international media map via Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Tim gave the world a virtual tour, a series of them, and the world loved it. Teaming up here with the museum's marketing director, Seth Spillman, it's time for an encore.
Welcome to the 2020 OICA Heroes Ball here at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum.
So where are we right now? What are we looking at?
Right here in front of me, beside me, is the End of the Trail sculpture by Frazier. It is a magnificent piece.
And this welcomes people to the museum?
It does.
So it's a good place to start.
This is the first thing you see, and it's a pretty amazing thing to see when you're coming in.
So what do you think about showing people around today? What do you think?
Absolutely.
All right, let's
get it done.
Let's do it. All right, so where are we now, Tim?
Right now we're in front of Prosperity Junction.
Another favorite, right?
Absolutely, one of my favorites. It's an old western town set in the early 1900s, back when they just started getting electricity. It's a little dark in there, but other than that, you know, the theme setting was for it to be at dusk. That's why it is so dark in there, but it is a fantastic place.
So people can walk down Main Street in there. It's like you said, it's a little dark, so a little hard to film, but go ahead and tell us why it's one of your favorites.
Just the feeling of it, you know, when you walk in there, for me, it feels like I am in an old west town. You have a saloon, you have the marshal's office, you have the jail behind the marshal's office. It just gives me that feel of stepping back in time and being a part of that era.
One of those fun, immersive experiences. And we have a new part of that, right? There's a new theater in there?
There is. There actually is a brand new theater in there with a very large curved screen. I don't know the exact dimensions on that screen.
Big is the exact dimensions.
It's big. It is a very big screen, and it's fantastic. You need to come and see that.
So there's a custom film in there that tells you all about the West, narrated by somebody pretty special, Tom Selleck.
That is correct.
All right. All right, Tim, looks like we're now in the Joe Grandee Museum of the Frontier West, another gallery here in the museum, and I know it's another one of your favorites. So what is it that we're going to see in here?
It is. It's actually a very favorite of mine. What you're going to see in this next room is a collection from Joe Grandee. It is one of the largest collections of this particular subject. It is U.S. Army Frontier Times, and it's a very large, amazing collection.
So why don't you go in and show us some of your favorites in here?
Okay.
We start here with the Buffalo Soldier, tooting his own horn.
Which he does very well.
We've got some displays over here of the Army women, the wives that joined them, what life was like in the field. We've got a whole display on Buffalo Soldiers, on Native American Scouts, Western Fort. Lots of fun Army stuff from the 1860s, 70s, 80s, telling that full story of the American West. Okay, so we're in the rodeo gallery here at the museum. A lot of people are maybe familiar with the museum more as the Cowboy Hall of Fame, and that's because we are still home to a number of Hall of Fames, including the Rodeo Hall of Fame. Isn't that right, Tim?
That is correct. This is a bronze of Bill Linderman called The King from 1968. It's an amazing piece, and this is what you're going to see when you first walk in.
But you can see some of the other things that we have here. We've got the trophy saddles and buckles and all kinds of stuff. So again, even if it's your first rodeo, this is a good place to start for rodeo education.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're now in our Western Performers Gallery, and this is going to show people the history of Western films and Westerns as a genre. Another favorite of yours, I know.
Absolutely. There's a lot to see and learn in here. This is a great gallery, including the suit and boots worn by Robert Redford in 1971 in The Electric Horseman.
So if you are a Western fan at all, this is definitely a place that you want to check out, right, Tim?
Absolutely. There's a lot of great memorabilia in here.
So now we're in our Native American gallery, and you are going to see all kinds of art and artifacts in here, things that are definitely more traditional, like this dress, more what you would expect, and some things that you might not expect. So I know this is a favorite of yours, right, Tim?
It is. It's a beautiful Navajo rug. It was put together by Ella Henderson. It's in memory of 9/11.
Beautiful piece.
It is absolutely amazing.
All right, Tim, so now we're in what people might think of when they think of the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. We are in the Cowboy Gallery, and this is going to show us boots, hats, spurs, saddles, things that were part of the everyday and some things that were special for cowboys and cowboys today. So what is it that we're looking at here?
This is actually a parade saddle.
Not an everyday saddle.
Not an everyday saddle. There's a lot of silver on that. That is a Very heavy saddle. It's from 1952. A lot of silver.
Pretty fancy. Okay, so we've got, like I said, we've got the boots, we've got the hats, we've got the chaps, we've got all kinds of things over here, and we've got even a display on barbed wire, isn't that right?
Yeah, we do. We have a very large collection of every barbed wire that you can imagine and some that you probably can't.
So Hawaiian cowboys, otherwise known as paniolas, right?
I believe that is correct, yes.
So yeah, this gentleman looks like he might just reach out and grab you.
Most definitely.
Some fascinating history about cattle in the state of Hawaii and ways of cowboying out there that we don't necessarily have here, like driving them out into the water to collect them on boats. But again, you're going to experience all that kind of history here at the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. All right, so Tim, now we're outside, and if people haven't been to the museum in a while, they're going to be surprised by what they see outside, right?
Absolutely. This is our brand new $15 million Licho Koshkamo, which in Native American, Chickasaw Native American, that means let's play area. It is an interactive area for children of all ages. It's a pretty amazing place.
So we're seeing over your shoulder here, Prosperity Junction's train depot. So tying in the inside to the outside. We've got multiple areas here telling the full story of the American West, everything from the earliest inhabitants up to settlers, frontier times. So we have the train depot in our what we call our town center, and some interactive things. So this part of Leechikoshkamo is what we call our intertribal village. We've got 7 different native dwellings represented here. We've got a Kiowa teepee over there. We've got a Caddo grass house, a number of others. We've got rodeo hands-on. We've got just a playground. If you got kiddos, or grandkiddos in Tim's case, that just have come to a museum and maybe need a chance to just run. They've been told not to touch stuff, now they can touch stuff out here. They can just run and play on the playground, right?
They absolutely can. We do have a playground that they can come out and play on.
And every once in a while, maybe we go out there too and take a trip down the slide and have some fun.
Maybe so.
I may have pictures to prove that in Tim's case. So yeah, this is Leechikoshkamo, this outdoor area. All right, Tim, we're now in the Sam Noble Special Events Center.
That is correct.
This is exactly where people would be if they were here in person. I'm certainly glad they're joining us virtually here, but a lot of people that have come into the museum and maybe turned left and been to an event here are familiar with this room, but why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here?
Well, up on the wall, as you can see, are Wilson Hurley's triptychs.
Windows to the West.
Windows to the West. Seeing these, once again, seeing these on film do not do them justice. These are amazing, amazing pieces. Each panel was painted individually and then hung on the wall like they are right now. They are some fantastic pieces.
Pieces that were custom or commissioned, I should say, for this space specifically. One thing that if you've been in this room before, you may not have actually noticed is if you'll notice the horizon line, it stays the same. So we're so excited to be virtually hosting the OICA 2020 Heroes Ball. So glad to have you. I'm Seth from marketing. This is Tim.
Tim from security, among other things.
Thanks for being here, folks.
Our CEO, Joe Dorman, is back with us. Did you see the pose that Tim struck next to the Joel McRae painting? Dude was like, he's got total ham in him, right?
Absolutely. Tim is a phenomenon, and we're so glad he was part of tonight.
Well, and not for nothing. Did you guys notice that the bottom of those paintings in the ballroom start at the top of the doors along the walls? Those things are absolutely massive. If you have not seen them, do yourself a favor, and the next time you're here at the Cowboy Hall, check them out. Now, we've got our first live auction item in just a moment, but there are some people that we definitely want to make sure that we recognize who have joined us on our podcast tonight.
And I'm probably doing it overkill with 2 masks, so I'm going to go ahead and lose this one. We appreciate everyone for being a part of tonight and just for continuing the spirit of the Heroes Ball. We wish you could be here with us, but we appreciate you watching from home. And we have many dignitaries who also have joined us tonight, many of those individuals who we work with on a daily basis. And I want to start off thanking the Western Heritage Museum, the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum here in Oklahoma City for allowing us to do the event tonight. And speaking of Oklahoma City, we have the Mayor of Oklahoma City joining us tonight, Mayor David Holt. Thank you very much, and we know your lovely bride, Rachel, is there with you. Rachel is the Interim Executive Director for the Office of Juvenile Affairs. We work with her quite a bit on issues involving justice-involved children, so we thank both of you for being a part of tonight. And speaking of other state officials, the DHS Director, Justin Brown, is joining us. And Justin, it's amazing how, since 1983 to now, the difference of what we're seeing with DHS. You had an amazing write-up in the Tulsa World, and we can't thank you enough for the work you're doing for children. We have some other statewide officials joining us. We have our Labor Commissioner, Leslie Osborne. We have invited our Insurance Commissioner. We also have several of our state legislators being a part of this tonight, Senator Kay Floyd, Representative John Eccles. Others wave from the screen. Mary Boren, the senator from Norman, had the best background with the bat signal. We thank each of you, and especially want to thank everyone filing for office today. I've been there myself. I know what you're going through. Thank you for putting yourself forward to serve the people. Best of luck in your races, and let's just get back to the program.
Amen to that, JD. Don't go far. We're going to need you in just a minute. Now, we're going to meet the first of this year's award recipients presently after we run the OICA version of the 2-minute drill. Bailey Ballou is back as our auctioneer. We're doing it a little bit differently this year because of Zoom chat. I don't know how that's going to affect your pace. Maybe it slow you down, but I know you're going to get the job done as well as you ever do. And the first thing that we've got for you is a freezer with a quarter of beef from cattle raised on an Oklahoma ranch, free of antibiotics and hormones. This all-natural beef is grass-raised and grain-finished. It's aged and processed. I'm getting hungry already. It's aged and processed by an Oklahoma packing plant to your specifications. We're talking about the thickness of your cuts, the size of the roasts, even the packaging. And the freezer is included in this package. Starting bid, Bailey, is $500.
You bet. What a great opportunity. We talked about speed a little bit. Folks at home, don't worry. We're going to slow down because I want to get every dime that you would like to offer us at this time. Just like Brian said there, we're offering right now this freezer of beef, two things that are pretty hard to find right now and with what's going on with COVID-19. So here's a great opportunity to stock up for your family with a freezer full of beef right there in your own home. All right, I've got a suggested starting bid of $500. Who'd give me 500? I'm 500, bid it and pime, 500, bid it and pime, now 600, I got 500. Got to be 600 to buy. At 5 now, 600, but I'm higher down, $600 higher. $600, we get 600 anywhere, and 5, 600 now, 700 would have been 700 to buy. They get 600 down, 7 would have been 700 anywhere, give $700. 600 down, 7 that anywhere, would have been 700 anywhere. 600 would have been 700 anywhere. Give me $700 on the beef. I'll let you tune in there. I got 600 bid. You got to be 700 to buy it. 600, 700. Like I said, we'll slow down and take time and let you type your name in there in your bid. I think Brian might have forgot to mention that.
Actually, we can do that. And in the Zoom chat, it does take a little bit of time. But something I think is really important, too, right now, your support of this item also provides some support to the Oklahoma cattle and ranching industry. Right now, these are tough times for everybody. And so, you know, the more, bid it up, spend more, spend often, spend early.
All right, I've got 700 bid and got to be 800 to buy. 700 out, 800. I and 7 negative 800. Now 9, you're going to be 900. 800 bid would have been 900 to buy 800. Give me 900. Would have been 900. 800 now 9. Give me that name on the 800 so we know where we're at. Simonia Byford is in at 800. Takes 900 to buy. 800 down, 900 to buy, would have been $900. 800 down, 9 to buy, would have been 900. 8 bid would have been 900 and where at 800, now 900. You got 900, now 1,000. Give me $1,000. I had 900 bid, would have been 1,000 to buy, would have been $1,000. 1,000, now $1,000, now 1,100. I got 1,000 bid, give me 1,100 to buy. 10, 11, now 12. Give me 1,200. I got 11 bid, but 1,200 to buy, would have been 1,200. 1,100, now 1,200. And you want to be 1,200? We'll let you type your name in there. Great opportunity, folks. Farm-raised beef. It's dry-aged right here in Oklahoma and processed and be right there in your convenience of your home now. 1,100 bid. Give me 1,200 to buy. 11 bid. 1,200 to buy it here. If it's 1,200, I'm going to be 12. That I'm here in 1,200. What do you say? You got the 11? I've got 11 with Joe. You got to be 1,200. 1,100. 1,200. Anywhere. 11, 12. 1,100 bid would have been 1,200 to buy. 11 now 12. Last call. 1,200. We'll give you a count down there. 1,200. We all done? I believe I sold the first item for $1,100. That'd be Mr. Joe Dorman. You bet. Give him a great round of applause. Oh, hold on. You've got a bid of $1,200?
1,200.
We got 1,200. Joe, you've got to be 13. Now 14. We're out again. 1,400. 13 would have been 1,400. I'm 13. We did 1,400. I'm 14. That'll have been 1,400. I'm 13 on the floor here. You got to be 1,400 at home. 1,400. We'll take our time. I want all your money. 1,400. 13 would have been 1,400. You got 14, and now 15. Now 1,500. 14's bid. Give me 1,500. 1,500 about it, 1,500. 14, we get 1,500 anywhere in 1,500. Last call, 1,500. What do you think? We've already done this once. I'll wait for you. We got time? Where are we at on time?
We're okay.
All right. 1,500. That's right. 1,500.
I think we have 1,490.
1,490. Somebody just checked their bank balance and they checked back in and said, I can give 90. I need 1,500. Joe, that's a $10 bid. That's a cheap bid. I got 1,490 bid. Give me 1,500. Now 1,600. I got 15 bid on the floor. Got to be 1,600. 15 would have been 1,600 anywhere, and 15 would have been 1,600. 15 would get 1,600 anywhere, would get 1,600 out anywhere, 1,600. 15 would have been 1,600. This works better than having a live audience. 15 would get 1,600.
What's the value of that estimator, do you think?
I would say we're very close to that value. Yep.
With the freezer added in.
Yep. Yep. Very close.
And with the shortage, people are getting a heck of a deal.
There's more of a shortage of freezers, folks. Let me make it clear. There's more of a shortage of freezers and opportunities to get the beef processed than there is beef. Our beef industry is thriving. I've got 1,500. Take 1,600 to buy it. Last call. 1,600. I've sold it for 1,500 to Mr. Joe Dorman. Thank you, Joe. We appreciate it. I'm going to turn it back over to Mr. Brian Davis.
Hi, B. Thanks very much. Joe, don't go too far. And what I would normally do is remind our winners that they should send their email to Peyton Stacy at OICA. But since Joe and Stacy work in the same office, she knows where to find them. Congratulations, and thank you all for kind of rolling with this and adjusting to the virtual speed of this exercise. Now, you need to come on back because a little bit later on, we have on offer a very special work of art by the Oklahoma Choctaw artist D.G. Smalling. Tell us about it.
DG is a phenomenal Oklahoma artist. He's one of those treasures from the Choctaw Nation. He has a remarkable history, and he left a previous career to go into art. And the amazing thing about his unique art style is once he puts the instrument to the canvas, whether it be a pencil, a pen, a brush, it never lifts off. It's one continuous line. And once he's done drawing it, then he fills in the different spaces with the colors that make the painting so beautiful. DG goes well above and beyond, not even with his artwork. He contributes to OICA, he helps OICA. He's just one of those amazing Oklahomans we have out there, and we really appreciate him being a part of our Heroes Ball each year.
And this year is really, really special because last year was Batman, this year it's Robin. Why?
That's right, Robin's 80th birthday. The boy wonder who started out as an 8-year-old superhero taken in by Bruce Wayne after his parents were killed. We're celebrating Robin's birthday, the first childhood superhero. It's just tied in so perfectly with the Heroes Ball. And this painting goes to the spirit of the work that we do.
Okay, great stuff, Joe. We'll see you back here shortly. And again, that will be part of our live auction action featuring Bailey Ballou as we go along. Now we can kind of socially distance again. I can get rid of the mask so my glasses don't fog up. And I mentioned the raffle earlier. Prizes include dinner for 4 brought to you by Bruce Reinhardt's crack staff at Rococo, an autograph collection featuring stars of the Oklahoma City Thunder through the years, and a Cycle Bar fitness package that you can use to shed your quarantine 15. I may need to get in on that. We're going to sell raffle tickets. Well, until right about now, 6:30 was the cutoff time for that. First up in our annual slate of awards has to do with organizational advocacy. As we take a look at previous year's winners, we salute some of our 2020 sponsors: the Bridgewater Fund, Gateway Bank, Hillary Communications, Community Health Charities, and the Arnall Family Foundation. For that first award, we call on a woman who has co-chaired the effort to put together tonight's event.
Good evening. My name is Mary Blankenship Pointer. I'm thrilled to serve as your chair for the evening event. I love the Heroes Ball and what Oklahoma Institute of Child Advocacy is doing for the children of Oklahoma. I wish I could give you a handshake, or here, I'll give you a kick, you know, or virtual, whatever it is. I wish that we could be together, but we will celebrate on Zoom. It's my great pleasure to be able to present the Oklahoma Organizational Advocate of the Year Award to OETA Television. And Ms. Polly Anderson will be accepting on behalf of OETA. OETA has been a major part of our lives for over 60 years. I had the opportunity to chair their event several years ago, and we got to see all of the great things that OETA is actually doing. During this time of COVID, they have really stepped up to the plate to provide distance learning. They are still providing the great quality programs that we've been accustomed to over 60 years. My first introduction to OETA was when I was in the second grade, and they would bring a television into the room, and I studied French and I studied social studies on television. They have progressed a long way since then, but they're still providing the great quality programming, education in the schools and at home. So when you're at home with your children, you know that what you're seeing is quality, that they're going to learn, and it's my pleasure to present this award. Thank you so much, OETA, for what you do, and thank you so much, Oklahoma Institute of Child Advocacy, for what you do for Oklahoma.
I'm Polly Anderson, Executive Director of OETA. Thank you so much to the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy for this wonderful award. We could not be prouder to be the Organizational Advocate of the Year for OICA. You know, for more than 63 years, OETA has been serving the children of Oklahoma. Our youngest learners have been learning through Oklahoma Educational Television Authority with programs like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Sesame Street, which just turned 50 years old, but also with the newer programs like Molly of Denali, which is the first children's program that the main character is a Native American little girl. So again, thank you so much. We know that we're the safe haven, again, for the youngest learners in Oklahoma. We're proud of the programs that we provide, and we're very, very proud to receive this award from the OICA. Thank you.
Safe haven indeed. OETA and OICA are a great fit. You know, one of the things I've always liked about OETA and the lineup of shows available from PBS is their travel programming, which is a nice segue back to Bailey, who's going to auction off a trip to Greece. Now, here's the deal. You got 3 years to arrange it. There are no blackout dates. This awesome experience includes round-trip airfare for two, the services of a travel specialist to help you book your trip, and deluxe accommodations. You'll enjoy sun-drenched days and romantic nights exploring the most famous islands in the Aegean Sea. You want to go, don't you?
Very badly.
Okay. This 9-day, 8-night adventure takes you first to Santorini for 3 nights, then to Mykonos for 3 nights, and then on to Athens for your last 2 nights. A tour of Athens is included along with your inter-island flight to Santorini, and a ferry to Mykonos, and breakfast daily is included. Starting bid for this is, and this is a steal because this has got 10 or 15 grand written all over it, but the starting bid, Bailey, is $6,750.
You bet. I agree 100%. Don't let my hat and twang fool you. I've been to Paris and would love to take this trip as well, Brian. All right, like you said, we've got up now on the block right here is this trip to Greece, an outstanding opportunity. Let me reiterate, 3 years, open-ended, no blackout dates. That's a great opportunity to tie into something right now and set it up for the future and let that happen. So we've got a starting bid of $6,750. I'll let you guys start typing away there, and y'all get that sent to us, $6,750. $6,750.
Do remember that this is not Filene's Basement. Remember what happened to them. They went out of business. And we're here tonight to support the great work of the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy. If ever there were a time for you to reach a little bit deeper, this would be the time.
That's right. This is a great opportunity to do the right thing and get some enjoyment out of it as well. $6,750 is the bid.
And you got up to 3 years to take it.
Up to 3 years, open-ended, no blackout dates. Amazing. $6,750 bid. $6,750. $6,750. Might be the easiest one to buy if you're the first one to bid. $6,750, that's right.
This is an investment.
$6,750. I'll tell you what you can do. You can be $7,000. I'm going to buy it for $6,750. You can give me $7,000. I enjoyed Paris so much, I'll go back to Europe. Take $7,000 to buy the trip. Let you talk amongst yourselves. I will say it's an easy atmosphere here tonight. They've made that nice, but it's been a little bit different with Lincoln look at my back and Reagan over here on one side.
Yeah, right.
And the Duke back here. We've got 7,000 bid. Give me 7,500. 7,000. 7,500. 7,500. 75. Got 7,000 bid. 7,500. Now 8,000. Give me 8,000. Got to be 8,000. You're out. $8,000. 7,500's bid. Give me 8,000. 7,500 bid, asking $8,000. $8,000. I've got it from two places. Are you the same? Give me the name. Jody Bubbly. 8,000. Asking 8,500. 8,000 is bid. We got to have 8,500. I think Brian nailed it. We were closer to $15,000 value.
I'm telling you.
This is airfare in and out of all of the places. 8-night stay. Mykonos. Breakfast every day. Wow. What do we got? 8,000 bid. Asking 8,500. 8,000 asking 8,500. Joe, you want to go for 2? You got the beef. You could take the trip too.
I run a nonprofit.
Yeah, I understand. 8,000 bid, asking 8,500. $8,000 is bid, asking 8,500. We'll let you think about it. Check your credit card balance. Check your bank balance. 8,000 bid, asking 8,500. What's that? I tell you what, they told me that whoever was bidding at $7,500, if they would like to match the $8,000 bid, they may do that. We can sell 2 of these trips. The $7,500 bid wants to be $8,000. If anybody else would like to bid $8,000, we can sell 2 of these trips for $8,000 each. That's a great opportunity to take your best friend, couple of best friends with you. Asking $8,000 again. We've got 8,000 bid. If anybody would like to double up at 8,000, we're going to give you that opportunity. Where are we at on time?
We're okay on time.
Okay. We got 8,000 bid. Anybody else want to be 8,000?
Candace is willing to bid for 8,000.
All right, great. We have 2 trips sold for $8,000 apiece. Thank each and every one of you very much. We'll be right back. Here's Mr. Brian Davis again.
Well, I'll tell you what, virtual patience is a virtue in this case. Congratulations to our winners. And again, to our winners, if you would be so kind as to shoot your emails to Peyton Stacy at OICA. That would be P. Stacy, P-S-T-A-C-Y at OIC.org. More love for our sponsors here, the Ann Lacey Foundation, the Journal Record, Acorn Growth Strategies, Hickman Law Group, and former Oklahoma First Lady Rhonda Walters. And with that, we move from organizational to individual advocacy, and we turn back to Mitch Rosen.
Good evening. It is my honor and privilege to introduce the recipient of the OICA Individual Advocate Award, my good friend, Noble McIntyre. Noble was born in Fargo, North Dakota, and at a very early age moved to Burns Flat, which is out in western Oklahoma. Burns Flat is probably most famously known for the spaceport that never took off. But if you ask Noble, Burns Flat should be most famous for being the hometown of Noble McIntyre. Noble grew up in Burns Flat with 4 other siblings and 2 terrific parents who instilled in him values that would guide him through the remainder of his life. After graduating from high school at Burns Flat, Noble went on to OBU, Oklahoma Baptist University, where he met his future wife, Rhonda. And from that marriage, they have had 3 wonderful children, Mackenzie, Cassidy, and Kennedy. After graduating from OBU, Noble attended the University of Oklahoma, where he fulfilled his lifelong dream of becoming a lawyer. In 1995, Noble went to work for a law firm in Oklahoma City, and after a number of years, formed his own firm, McIntyre Law. Now, Noble's a trial lawyer. He's a litigator. He advocates zealously on behalf of his clients to make sure that the wrongs that they have suffered are right by verdicts in their favor. Noble is not only an advocate for his clients, but he's also an advocate for children and the underprivileged. He believes firmly that he should give back because he has been blessed. Since 2009, Noble has been involved with a group that he helped form called Lawyers Fighting Hunger. Each year, this group gives away thousands of Thanksgiving turkeys to people in need who might not otherwise have a proper Thanksgiving meal. At this giveaway, he also serves up hot dogs and hamburgers and drinks and other foods so that these families can have a proper meal before or during the holiday season. Noble has been a big supporter of OICA. He firmly believes that the good Lord has blessed him with a good family environment, personal and professional success, and that he should return those blessings to his fellow man. He understands that not every child in Oklahoma had the same opportunities that he had. He is committed to making the lives of children in Oklahoma better. So it is my great pleasure to introduce the 2020 OICA Individual Advocate Award winner, Noble McIntyre.
Hi, I'm Noble McIntyre with McIntyre Law here in Oklahoma City. I've got a firm where I've been practicing law for about 25 years, and what I do is help people. That's all that I've ever really done. And so this award, I'm just very, very grateful for it. The recognition from some of the stuff that have been doing, I appreciate it. Let me tell you why I think it's important in this era. As we all know, during this COVID era, life has changed dramatically for everybody. And a lot of these kids, the very kids that we're helping with this organization, they're going through some things that we've never gone through, that we never went through as a child. And so it's even more important to do the types of things that we're doing. Some of the things that I do, I have something called the Noble Cause on Fox 25, where every month I honor a kid that's doing something a little different than their peers. And it's important to reward those kids because they look around and they don't see a lot of rewards sometimes. And so if you step up and you say, look, what you're doing is great, continue this, you never really know the impact that they're going to make in life. Some of the other things I do is I'm a sponsor of the Purple Sash, which, as many of you know, because you're involved in it, helps women and children who are in battered homes and situations like that. A lot of these kids didn't grow up the way that we've grown up. And so, we've had an opportunity to get to the point in life where we are. A lot of them haven't. So not just the things that I'm doing and this organization is doing, just generally as people taking a time to reach your hand down to somebody that needs help, especially the youngest ones in our society, and give them a chance is a big, big deal. So this organization does a tremendous amount. If you could just look into the homes and look into the lives of some of these children whose lives have been impacted by the work of this organization, you would step up and give even more money than you do. It's just the ability to change lives and change the path of a family. It's just crucial, it's important, it's what I do, and it's what I hope at the end of this evening that everybody wants to go back to their own personal lives and their families and say, you know what, that's something that I want to do too. So thank you again to this organization for this award. I'm grateful. I know Joe and Mitch very, very well. I think they're doing a great job, and whoever nominated me for this, look, I'm grateful. Thank you very much. If you come to my office, I proudly display all of these things, and when people ask me about them, it gives me a platform to talk a little bit more about it. So that's exactly what I'll do with this, is I'll tell people about this organization and tell them it's a fantastic thing to get involved in. So thank you again. Have a great evening.
Now, I'm not trying to be trite here, but is there any more noble cause, or maybe a better way to put it to avoid the cliche is there any higher calling than protecting the most vulnerable among us? There's a passage in Proverbs that came to mind as I listened to Noble's story. It says, "Speak out for those who cannot speak, for the rights of all the destitute. Speak out, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and needy." Noble is building a track record that will over time only become more impressive with the help that OICA also receives from organizations and individuals like Bank First, Epic Charter Schools, AmFund, and the George Kaiser Family Foundation. Bidding on the silent auction, as I've mentioned, is open until 7:15, about 30 more minutes on that. Here's the link, my.bidpal.net/HeroesBowl2020. The silent auction includes some work by the Norman-based fine artist Tim Kenny, who is known for oil paintings that feature thick textures and bold colors. Let's see what Tim has created for us, and then we'll meet our next honoree.
This is a 24 by 36 painting. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit and maybe take a look at how I paint. I've got a lot of texture on this painting. I paint with a palette knife, a little bit of brush. There's some of my other work in the background. There's some of the bumps. There's my signature. Okay, so I hope this painting does well. This weekend, July 31st, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Let's raise some money for the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy at the Heroes Bowl. Thanks a lot, guys.
Hi, I'm AJ Griffin, board member for OICA, and it's my honor to introduce the winner of the Cape Bernard Perseverance Award for Lifetime Achievement in Child Advocacy, the Honorable Judge Doris Francine. For many years, Judge Francine has had a unique perspective on the child welfare and juvenile justice systems in Oklahoma. She has seen these systems from behind the bench. And in her work as a judge and previously as an attorney and in the district attorney's office has made great changes to what's happening around child welfare and juvenile justice in Oklahoma. After retirement last year, the judge continues to improve these systems by working on legislation that oversees our court systems. We are very pleased to honor you, Judge Francine, for all of the work that you have done. And on behalf of the board and all of the children of the state of Oklahoma, congratulations on this award.
I want to thank everybody and the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy for this special recognition for the Lifetime Achievement Award. I am humbled, extremely humbled, to accept this award. It doesn't seem like it's been a lifetime. I suppose it has been. There's still so much more to do for the children and families that reside in Oklahoma, actually that reside in this world. I have always attempted to consider the absolute fact, the proven fact, that children do not grow up in isolation. They have to grow within families. They are taught by families, they are nurtured by families, and they mirror the families with which they have been raised. As an adopted child myself, this concept of family runs to the inner core of my heart, and I'm always very, very much aware of it. Throughout my judicial career, and actually as an old social worker, I have attempted to work with not just lawyers and judges, but with our community partners to collaborate other avenues to make our system better. Whether that be legislative committees to rewrite the children's code or the juvenile justice code, or whether to participate in seminars, whether to teach at the law schools, but to continue to impart critical information to Oklahoma regarding what is needed to help children and families. I may be a retired judge, but I am still working from home, as we all are, in achieving high quality parent and child representation in this state. This is a project that is very near and dear to my heart. The courts are extremely involved within the child welfare system, and ultimately it is the courts that determines the family's future. So it is critical that those attorneys representing the state, the children, and the parents are the very, very best that we can produce. So I thank you all very much, and I'm deeply honored. Thank you.
Your Honor, it is absolutely our honor. A little while ago, Joe and I took you into D.G. Smalling's studio, and now it's time to put his work onto the auction block, so we're going to bring Bailey Blue back in here. And just a reminder that bidding on the live auction tonight is by Zoom chat, so you're with us on the broadcast. Look, on my MacBook Pro, it's at the bottom of your screen. You click onto the chat icon, the sidebar pops up, and then you can participate with Bailey and the rest of our bidders. And what we have for you now is a painting by the Oklahoma Choctaw artist D.G. Smalling. D.G., as Joe mentioned earlier, is best known for his one-line continuous drawing technique in which his pen never leaves the paper until the image is complete. Last year, he painted an absolutely stunning image of the Batman logo, and this year he is contributing, as Joe mentioned, a Robin-themed painting on the 80th anniversary of Robin's creation. And Bailey, our starting bid for this one is $250.
Very good. We do have a starting bid of $250. We'll just go ahead and ask who wants to bid $300. Go ahead and get that in there on your computer screen. Type that up. $250, asking $300 on the painting now. $250 as $300. I had $250, but it $300. $253, I'm at $3, and that I'm hearing $250, but $3, and that I'm hearing $300. I'm here now $3, now $4. $300 bid, but it $400 down $5. I bid $5, that I'm hearing $500. I got 4 bid, now $5. It'd be $500, but I'm hearing $500, but I'm hearing 4 bid, now $5. It'd be $500. I'm 4 bid, down $5, that I'm hearing $500. 4 bid, $500. What $5 that I'm hearing $4, that I'm $500 anywhere get it $500. 400 bid, give me 500. I got 4 bid, now 500 anywhere but 5, but with 500. 400 bid, give me 500. 500, now 600. We're out here, 600, 5 bid, 600. At 5 bid would have been 600, and now 600. Where'd you get 600? I got 5 bid, give me 600. 500, now 600. What's the name on the 500 so we know? Mitchell? Very good. 500, asking 600. You want to go again? 500, $600. At 5, we get 600 anywhere in 5, and 600, but I'm in 5, 600. I got 550. Now 600. 550 on the floor with Joe. Give me 600. 550, got to be 600. 550, 600. Now 650. 650. 600 down 50. 600 bid at 50, minimum 6.5. Joe, you started pinching them pennies now. 650, $650 down here. 600, we get 50. 650. I got 6 bid, we get 650. Give you just a moment. We're going to wrap this one up. 600, give $650 anywhere but a bid $650. I have sold this one at $600. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And Mr. Brian Davis again.
All right, B. And again, for our winner, don't forget to email your contact address to pstacy@oica.org. And, you know, we had what turned out to be a pretty good little bid for the trip to Greece and the live auction. There are a number of international trips available on the silent auction, and a couple of those have not received a starting bid yet. So go ahead and check out that silent auction, and you've got yourself a chance to get yourself a real deal. Now, as we move along to the Gateway Award, let's take a look at some of the previous honorees and also thank for their support the Oklahoma Blood Institute, the Chickasaw Nation, Sonic, and Glenn Coffey and Associates. If you get the chance, please thank them for making the Heroes Ball possible for this, our 4th year.
Hi, I'm Dan Boren, and I'm one of your co-chairs for this evening's OICA Heroes Ball. We have a very special award to give tonight. It's the Gateway to Leadership Award for Public Service, and we have a very special honoree. Rhonda Walters is our honoree this evening, and she is a mother, a grandmother to 5 kids, and a former First Lady of the state of Oklahoma. She's been active in child advocacy for over 30 years, volunteering countless hours and raising millions of dollars for women, children, and families. When Rhonda was First Lady of Oklahoma, she organized the Children's Inaugural, the Children's Agenda, and the Healthy Futures campaign. Rhonda's dedication to helping children was recognized by former President Bill Clinton, and he appointed her to the Presidential Scholars Commission in 1999. Rhonda's passion for service continues today through her partnership and leadership on several boards. Her hard work and devotion to service have earned her many awards and honors, including being inducted to the Oklahoma Women's Hall of Fame and also the Western Oklahoma Hall of Fame. Rhonda has touched the lives of countless women, children, and families throughout the state of Oklahoma, and I'm honored to present her with this award. Rhonda, you're a very special lady. You've done so much for women, children, and families, and for the entire state of Oklahoma. Congratulations and a very well-deserved honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Bourne, and thank you, Andrea, for chairing this innovative event with Mary, Rick, and Candy. Each of these chairs lead significant lives, and it's telling that they come together for this important work. It was my great fortune to have our friend Randy Splangard introduce me to this new organization in the 80s that wanted to do something for children who were subject to such cruelty and abuse in the custody of the state. I was grateful to be asked to serve on the board. Years later, I had a chance to do more. The OICA helped with the first Children's Inaugural. Thousands of children and young parents and grandparents flocking to the Capitol made my heart soar. We worked hard to vastly increase children's inoculations by launching the Do By Two program, and I had a chance to work with my friend, the late Senator Ed Long, who was my partner in advocating for parents as first teachers. Over these nearly 40 years, so many of you have done so much. It's an honor to be recognized for this Public Service Award with Senator Glenn Coffey, a history-making leader of the state Senate. I so appreciate Noble McIntyre's incredible advocacy for Oklahoma 4-H and so much more. And to be on the same program with Judge Francine, who worked so hard on the Tulsa Court's Juvenile Division, showing that a big heart can be so effective. And I'm thrilled that you are recognized OETA for their education support for kids during this school closures. Polly Anderson is a remarkable leader of this wonderful Oklahoma television network. And yet we have so much more to do. Thank you, Joe Dorman, and the leaders of this remarkable organization, supporting so many Oklahoma children that depend on your advocacy.
You know, what Rhonda said really drives home the great responsibility and power of parenthood. So many do it so well, but these days, in ways that many folks might find hard to grasp, circumstances intervene to challenge even people with the best of intentions. Loss of a job, loss of health insurance, a shrinking safety net. These are the breaches into which OICA steps with the help of our sponsors like the Inasmuch Foundation, McIntyre Law, Chesapeake Energy, and Community Health Charities. Also, the help of our award winners past and present. Let's meet another of our 2020 honorees.
Hi, my name is Rick Nagel. I'm joining you virtually today from the Western Heritage Museum, where we would be holding this event live if it wasn't for current events. But we want to thank you all again for being with us tonight. It is my honor as one of your Heroes Ball co-chairs to introduce one of our award recipients tonight, the Gateway for Leadership Award recipient, Glenn Coffey. We all know Glenn. You can't be involved in Oklahoma politically or from a business standpoint without having met or dealt with Glenn at some point. He's been such a driving force for business and for change and for moving Oklahoma forward for so long in his life, both as a businessman, as a state servant, and then back now in the business community. We're very proud of Glenn because he's notably accomplished so many firsts in his time when he was in the Senate, taking first his ragtag group of minority members into a equal environment in the 2006 election when it was historically we had the tie in the state Senate. He was the first co-president pro tempore, and then built off that momentum to take the majority in the first Republican pro tem in state's history. Those aside, and all the other accomplishments that came with that, Glenn was incredibly balanced and knew that when it came particularly to children's issues, he could put the issues of the state ahead of the party, and did that whenever was needed, which I've always felt really embodies true leadership. That was really evidenced to me early on in one of another role that I serve as the state president of the Alliance of Boys and Girls Clubs that has an incredible partnership with the state of Oklahoma. We were caught up, sadly, in a partisan political matter that required some tactical skill to navigate. Glenn was able to step in and help us through that and restore the funding and the programming that partnership was based on, that without his efforts would have hurt 50,000 kids across 70 organizations statewide. And there are just countless examples of that, time after time after time, that once he got a quick read in, he was willing to jump in and do what was right for our kids. He has been a tireless champion for educational reform and making sure that our kids, particularly those that are born into poverty, that have a lot of the deck stacked against them, were put on a relatively, had every tool and resource available to them to level the playing field and give them a chance for a better future. I can think of nobody more deserving for this award, for their efforts as it relates to advocating for children and putting their money where their mouth is, their effort and their sweat and tears and their energy into it, than Glenn Coffey. So it is my honor, privilege to be here in front of you tonight to present our 2020 Gateway for Leadership Award winner, this award for your service, Senator Glenn Coffey.
Hi, my name's Glenn Coffey, and it's a privilege to thank you for this award for public service, this Gateway to Leadership for Public Service Award. It was a surprise, but an honor to receive it. And I would just simply say that during my time in the legislature, there were many important issues. And I'm proud to say that my colleagues, as we worked together, Democrat and Republican, urban and rural, we set those differences aside to try and find ways to move children's issues forward, whether it's issues involving Boys and Girls Clubs or other important issues. We found a way to get it done. I also want to thank Joe Dorman, your executive director, for the amazing work that you continue to do as an organization. And I'm excited to be affiliated with you. I only wish we could all be in person, and I know that next year we probably will be. It's a great privilege to be here. It's for an important cause. As a father of 4 children, some of whom are now grown, and now with my first grandchild, children's issues are heavy on my mind. When I was in the legislature, since I've left the legislature, I played a small role in Attorney General Mike Hunter's effort on opioid abuse, and it was a privilege to be a part of that. And I'll continue to find ways to help Oklahoma children move forward and succeed in life. Thank you.
Going back to what Mitch Rosen said earlier, they're just kids. If ever there were a place to set aside partisan politics, this would be it. And thanks to you and our generous partners and donors, OICA is making that happen. Just heard that we've got an item, number 24 on the silent auction, that is still waiting for its first bid. Folks, it's a steal. It's a wine tasting for 8 down at a winery in Washington, Oklahoma, not far from Norman, so not terribly far from here in Oklahoma City, at least. And I think there's hors d'oeuvres involved, some terrific wine, a great evening, and whatever you wind up bidding on it, it will be an absolute steal. And again, the silent auction is open again till 7:15. We have one final live auction item, and this has significance, some added significance given the recent passage of the Hall of Famer Eddie Sutton. We have a basketball signed by Coach Sutton and by Kelvin Sampson. Now, we're talking about the men who put together some of the finest seasons in the history of Oklahoma State University and the University of Oklahoma. Talking about men's basketball. For 12 seasons, they were fierce rivals, and you could make the argument that those 12 years were the very best ever of Bedlam. So this is quite a keepsake, and Bailey, the starting bid on this is only $250.
Yeah, and far too cheap. You reiterate there what Brian said. What a great opportunity to sell something that's near and dear to most everybody here in Oklahoma. Great rivalry, but man, the undertone of what those two did for both programs at the universities was outstanding. I'm an alumni of Oklahoma State, so go Pokes. But if you were ever going to put a name on a basketball with Eddie Sutton, that there was a Sooner name, what better name than Kelvin Sampson? Talk about just a class act and a man with great integrity that did a great job for the university. This is a really, really neat opportunity and a great gift, just like Brian said, with the passing of the great Eddie Sutton and then being elected into the Naismith Hall of Fame. What a great, great, great opportunity right here. This basketball signed by both great coaches, starting bid of $250. Somebody give me $300. Now 3, but a 3, minute impaired and 300, minute impaired and 350. I'm 3 bid, now 50, minute and 4, minute impaired and 400, minute impaired and 4, 4, 4. Now but 4, minute impaired and 400, minute impaired and 4 and 4 and 4. I got 350 bid, give me 400. I'm 4, minute impaired, down 4, minute impaired, 400 bid. I'm get down 350 now, 400, minute impaired, 350 now, 4 now, 50. I'm 4 bid, down 450, minute impaired, down 450. I'm 4 bid, 50. I'm 400, down 450, minute impaired, and $450 anywhere. I got 4 bid now, 450, 4 bid, 450. 4 bid, 450. I got 4 1/4. Somebody's throwing quarters at me. 4 1/4 now half. I'm 425.50. 425 down 450. I think if I was bid at 400, I'd be pretty upset with somebody that bid me 425. $450. 425. Now 450 to buy. 475, 450, 475. Give me 475. And 4 1/2 bid 75. That I'm hurting 475. The person that bid the first quarter, give me another quarter. Give me 475. 450, 475. I'm 4 1/2. Now 75.
Eddie signed it, his name, and God bless, and ride 'em Cowboys.
Very nice. It says Eddie, it has Eddie Sutton's signature, God bless, and ride 'em Cowboys underneath it. 450, 475, 450, but a bit 75. That I'm heard 475. Last call, 450. We get 75, but at 475. 500 bid, you bet. Now 600. I get 5 bids, 600, but I'm hurting 5, 600, but I'm hurting ride 'em Cowboys, 550, 600. Now 6 here, but I'm 550, 600, but I'm hurting 5 1/2. Give me $600. I got 550 bid. Give me 600. 550, 600. 550, 600. This is 600. Now give me 700. $700 anywhere. 600 bid. 700 to buy. 6 bid. Minimum 7 bid. 700 bid. I'm hurting 700. What I'd really like to know is the high bidder a Pokes fan or a Sooner fan. They'll let you know, I promise you that. 650 or 700? Where are we at? 700. Give me 750. 750. It sounds like a Cowboys fan to me. 700, 750. Last and final call. Give me 750 for the basketball. It's actually signed by 2 Hall of Famers. One of them hadn't been inducted. 750. Give me 800. 750. 800. 750 bid. 800. I'm at a bit 750. 800 bid. I'm here. 750. Give me $800. Anywhere give 800. Last call. 750. 800. What do they say? 800. Brian, you got anything you want to add? 800, 750. 800, 750, 800.
Dude, the Cowboys want to let a Sooner have that basketball.
That's no kidding. 800, 750, 800. Look at that. Even Sooners know the value of an Eddie Sutton signature. 750, 800. Last call, 750, 800. I'm going to sell it. $750. Rick Nagel. Mr. Nagel, thank you very much. Appreciate you very much.
Bailey, great
Brian,
to see you, man.
Thank
Always
you
a
guys for
pleasure.
having me. Appreciate it. Nice to work
Well
with you
done.
again. Joe
Always
Dorman,
nice
thank
to
you for
work with
inviting
you.
me.
All the best. Bailey Ballou, ladies and gentlemen, he kind of makes this thing go, and his hard work pays off not only for our winners, but also for the Oklahoma Institute of Child Advocacy. Joe Dorman is going to step back into the picture for the People's Choice Awards, but we're into the home stretch for the silent auction. And once again, now Bailey, having left, he's got 5 minutes left because the silent auction closes at 7:15. I know he had his eye on some of those trips, so he's got a chance to bid on them. And what else do we have here down the stretch? Again, 5 minutes left in the silent auction.
We've got some signed memorabilia on there. We have some great gift cards. We've got some fantastic items that still don't have a bid. And that visit to Washington and to the winery, that's an amazing experience. I've had some of Terry's wine. It's great. So if you bid on that, you're definitely going to have a wonderful time. And it's hosted by one of our board members. And I need to thank some of the people out there too, if this is an appropriate time.
Absolutely.
We've got some wonderful people, and we do have a special announcement at the very end I want to make that's very near and dear to the OICA family. So before we cut out tonight, I want to make sure and say that.
I'll hold you to that.
But we've got some wonderful people out there that are just making a difference tonight. And I know we're going to thank them later, but I want to personally say thank you to our board members who have been a part of this. Thank you to our committee that's put this together. We've had 3 fantastic interns working this summer. JC, Mason, Emily, thank y'all so much for everything that you're doing. This has been a wonderful evening, and we're on pace to set a record. We were worried about how well tonight would go. We're on pace to shatter the 3 previous Heroes Balls, thanks to your bidding and the work that you've done. And got to say thank you to our staff. Peyton has done a tremendous job with this. Miranda has done a fantastic job. J. Paul and Corey are back in the war room running things. And Bailey, thank you for being an auctioneer tonight. And we'll get to you at the very end.
All right. So now, though, we've got to do the People's Choice Awards, and we've got individual and organizational. But let's start with the individual award.
And this was an amazing process this year with the nominations we saw. Our board committee that was working to narrow this down, they did a great job going through and just looking at the quality of the nominees. And there are so many people out there doing great work. And the people who made these nominations, you put a lot of thought into this. And everybody, top to bottom, even those people that didn't make the finalists, you're doing amazing work. But we had 5 great finalists, and I know they're going to show up on the screen. And it's my pleasure to announce the winner for the Individual Advocate of the Year with the Ann Roberts People's Choice Award. The individual award goes to Ryan Abernathy with the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma. Congratulations.
My name is Ryan Abernathy. I'm the Senior Director for Childhood Hunger for the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma, and I'm really honored to be nominated for the Ann Roberts People's Choice Award from the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy. Here at the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma, I get a chance to work with an amazing team that fed 38,000 unique children last year. We do this through multiple different programs, like our backpack and school pantry programs that give kids food to take home on the weekends so no kid goes hungry. Also through our Kids Cafe program that partners with organizations at over 50 locations to serve children after school. And then our summer feeding program, where we're the largest sponsor in the state of Oklahoma, serving over 100 locations across central and western Oklahoma so kids are not hungry in the summertime. I appreciate the opportunity to spotlight our work and to talk about the things that we do. Thank you very much for the nomination, and I really appreciate your support.
And we only have about 1 minute left on the auction, so if you're going to place a bid, now's the time to do it, so get in there. And I want to finish up tonight with this wonderful award for the Organizational Advocate of the Year. We have a special occasion tonight, too. We have all the previous executive directors of OICA except one on tonight. Eva Carter, Ann Roberts, Doug Gibson, thank you for being a part and shepherding this organization and leaving it in great hands for me to have the pleasure of running for the 3.5 years I've been here. There are tremendous organizations out there doing amazing work for kids. And again, tremendous nominees, 5 outstanding finalists. We'll show them on the screen. It is my honor and privilege to announce the Organizational Advocate of the Year for the Ann Roberts People's Choice Award goes to Diabetes Solutions of Oklahoma. Congratulations.
Our mission at Diabetes Solutions of Oklahoma is to improve the lives of those affected by type 1 diabetes through education, programming, and support. Here at DSOK, we provide various services to allow those with type 1 diabetes the best care. These services include medical supplies training, mental health counseling, medical supplies assistance, and more. We also have a large camping and outreach program called Camp Injuries. Here at Injuries, we provide various sessions ranging from all ages affected by type 1.
When I come to camp, I feel like I don't have to be afraid of what people say of me.
Luckily, my mom's a doctor, and she heard about Camp Injuries, and I was able to come, and I've learned so much more about diabetes and how it's not a setback and makes you a stronger person. Thank you.
Because we understand living with diabetes is tough, but you are tougher.
You know, there's one person you've forgotten. Of course, you're too humble to thank yourself. But over the last several years, it's been actually, you know, I met Joe Dorman almost immediately when we moved to Oklahoma City in 2008. And the relationship has continued personally and professionally. And having had a chance, especially over the last couple of years, to get involved in policy and politics in the state of Oklahoma, I have come to truly appreciate how difficult a job you and OICA have. I mean, it's incredibly rewarding for all the tremendous work that you do on behalf of the people who need it so badly. But man, I'll tell you what, if it wasn't the time of COVID, I'd give you a big hug because you do a terrific job, you and your entire organization.
A rain check. With haircuts like ours, we have to stick together,
That's
so
exactly right.
I appreciate that.
Now, the silent auction is closed, but we do have our raffle drawings, and it's time for those. First of all, our Thunder Then and Now package, which features men who have served as mainstays since the club moved here from Seattle in 2008. It includes a Kevin Durant signed basketball, cards autographed by Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and prints signed by Billy Donovan and Russell Westbrook. So I get the honor. Don't blame me if it's not your ticket that comes out of here. But the winner of the Thunder Then and Now package is the mayor of Oklahoma City, David Holt.
Okay. Rachel, demand to have half of it for your office.
All right, so, okay, Mr. Big League City, I mean, there's just something poetic about that.
Absolutely.
Okay? So, Mr. Mayor, congratulations. The next thing that we have here is a Rococo catered dinner for 4. If the pandemic is keeping you from enjoying your favorite restaurants, let Rococo, which is now, I think, officially an Oklahoma City dining institution, bring the restaurant to do. If you win, Rococo will deliver a catered meal for 4 right to your door.
And Bruce is going to prepare a special video of it for you to post on Facebook. And he does so much for OICA. We have our weekly meetings there for our advocates and our members. Bruce is a tremendous ally, and we can't thank him enough for doing this.
That's awesome. And the winner of the Rococo Prize is Simonia Byford. Congratulations, Simonia.
Our board secretary.
Right on.
All right.
And that leaves, and this is one, I don't know about you, but this whole thing about the quarantine 15, that's legit. That is absolutely. There's a reason I'm wearing the tuxedo top tonight, but jeans on the bottom. Let me just put it that way. This is for 5 free rides at Cycle Bar, which is really a one-of-a-kind fitness experience. Cycle Bar has generously donated 5 sessions at their Class and Curve studio with professional instructors to help you reach your fitness goals. Cycle Bar can help you to get into the shape that you deserve. And the winner is Glenn Coffey.
Congratulations, Mr. Secretary.
Well done. Excellent. So we're out of the swag business officially, and with that, really, our evening draws to a close. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve, Joe. It's an absolute honor.
Well, Brian, we can't thank you enough. We do have a thank you gift for you, for our co-chairs, for the staff and the interns who have put everything together. Thank you all for everything you've done, Brian. Thank you for being such a tremendous master of ceremonies.
My pleasure, my friend. We'll see you again.
Thank you. And before we close things out, I do want to make a special announcement, and I'm going to take the mask off for this, and hopefully I don't tear up a little bit. We have a great friend with OICA, and I'm not sure if I can mention her name, but we took over and ran a program for her, and hopefully we did a great job for her, called OK Foster Wishes, which helps fulfill the wish list for children all throughout the state who are foster kids. And getting to know her and her family has been one of the joys of my life. And if you will notice the logo, and I don't know if we can pull it up on the screen, but our Heroes Ball logo has 2 little kids, a boy and a girl who are superheroes. And it was amazing. The similarities were striking to 2 of her children. And one of them, her young daughter, passed away not too long ago. And we reached out to them and asked if we could name the children our superheroes, Dynabit and Ultra Trot, their secret identities with the first names of her kids, and she graciously said yes. So I don't know, like I said, if I can share your name, but you know who you are. I saw you posting on Twitter earlier. Thank you for allowing us to use that. Lisa, thank you very much. That was a great honor you allowed for us, and hopefully we'll do that right. And we're working on a series of books to teach about advocacy using those kids, and so watch for that. And David, allow Steve to have a little spare time. We want him to help with some of the drawings on that. And with that, we've thanked everybody, I believe. Ryan?
I think so. So happy trails, my friend. We'll see you next year.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here.
For joining us online. We say thank you for helping to make this event a success. Ditto to our sponsors and to our Heroes Ball co-chairs for 2020. Another shout out to Mary Blankenship Pointer, Rick Nagel, and Dan Boren. Congratulations, of course, to our winners this year. Silent auctions closed, but we're always up for straight donations, which you may make through oica.org. This is the place where I've always told folks to drive home safely. This year, let's make it a prayer that we all just stay healthy, and we hope to actually see you all next year. Good night.